All right. Welcome back to Destination Success Podcast 23DS2. Excited to be back this year. Everything's awesome. I'm your host, Sherm, and we have a great guest today. He was one of our first guests on Destination Success. My buddy, Mike Dove.
What's up, Sherm?
What's going on, man?
Not much, man. It feels like we're in South Florida today, man.
I know we should be out playing golf.
We should be out playing golf. Some guy scheduled a podcast at this time now.
I know. But we had to get it started. So
Yeah, man.
let's go back over what's going on, man. 2023. What's
Ah,
going on with Dove and Weakfish, and what else can we do for some of our clients out there?
oh man, we're smashing it, dude. 2023 has been a good rollover from really what the pandemic started. So, going to the subscription-based type programs we're a big hit. We work with a lot of marketing agencies around the country. We do all their graphic design work and social media type stuff. So, man, business is good, man. We're continuing to grow, and we had an exciting weekend last weekend. One of the teams in NASCAR that we work with, Ricky Stenhouse, a very small team, actually won the Daytona 500. So it's been a busy week for stuff, but it's been really cool, man.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. The graphics that you posted on Facebook are really nice.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. So what why don't you describe some of the products, some of the things you can do, maybe throughout your website or how to contact you?
Yeah, sure. So obviously we're a graphic design company. We're subscription based. There's a lot of companies like ours now out in the market today. Essentially, it works is you sign up, you pay a flat rate for the month, you get unlimited graphic design, unlimited revisions, submitted through our project center, which takes about 15-20 seconds for you to do it. And we pump out all your graphic design work. We do video creation, website building, SEO maintenance, and also social media ad posting. So we got you kind of covered across. One of the things that makes us pretty unique, though, Sherm, is all of our company is US based. Not saying there's anything wrong with it, but there's a lot of companies that outsource stuff, to other countries, and there's such a lag in getting your work done, and also just hard to kind of come across what you're looking to get done. So everybody that you have on this team could be your neighbor. Everyone's located right in the United States. So I think that puts us a little bit different than a lot of the other companies that do this type stuff. But obviously, we're on Facebook, Instagram at Weakfish LLC. And then our website is weakfish.com, and that's spelled like day of the week, weakfish.com. So, and also, as always, there's no contracts involved. We don't make you give us your firstborn child or, your right to your beach house or anything. So sign up if you use us and you don't think we're great, which I don't think will be the case. You can move on to the next one.
Yeah, no, it's a great one-stop shop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thanks, man.
Just yeah, you throw stuff over. Obviously, you're doing most of my stuff, and it's been
Yep.
easy to work with you. But yeah, it's you just send stuff over and you can communicate back and forth, which is pretty easy and pretty good.
Yeah, and that's like communication when you're especially working with graphic design, right? Because I tell everyone, like, you're never going to hurt my feelings if you say something sucks, right?
Sure.
Because my vision or someone on my team's vision is going to be totally different. And sometimes the client doesn't have the vision till you put something in front of them. They're like, oh, you know what? Now that I see this, now I do have some ideas. So, it's our goal is always to get it right the first time. Do we always? No. That's why we give you unlimited revisions. But
Yeah, no,
we
that's awesome. Yeah, because I
yeah, I
even I
mean,
was that customer.
yep,
Like you showed me something, I'm like, yeah, I don't like that.
yep, yep,
But
and
we just kept working until we got it. And
yeah, and like I said, for the most part, a lot of the stuff we do is done and good. But you're always going to have those things, that just we have to rework it. But it's great, man. We the as I talked about before, like one of the best things, I hate to say this, that happened for us in our business was the pandemic, because I learned to step outside the comfort zone and hire somebody that lives 2,000 miles away, across country to work because we don't need an office. And so that's how business has changed for us. Like, you know, just hanging out with business minded like people, I started to realize, like, if these banks can do it and stuff like that, we can do it. And so, we that's how our business model has really changed heading into 2023 is, man, I'm working from my garage now. That's our corporate office. And it's great. And when you don't have that overhead and stuff like that, and for our business, we just don't need it anymore. Everything is, we've got communication. Like, I can see what everybody's working on, and people can work from home. And one of the other things, they work longer hours, man. But don't tell them that. I don't think they realize it, Sherm. Don't say that out
Yeah,
loud.
nah,
But
that's bullshit. We all know. We're all working long hours, working from home or trying to work remotely. It's really
yeah,
tough for what I do, but I still try to get some
yeah.
time in the office because I need to get away.
Well,
So
yeah, you do, and it's a change of scenery is always good. Like, but I tell you, the guys and gals on my team, they love it because, man, they can sit at home. One of the girls that work for me is a single mom, and she's like, man, I don't have to worry about before and after care now. So it's really the the virtual world, as we call it, has really changed the marketplace, and I think that's going to be just continuing to grow over the next 4 to 5 years. I think it's going to get even bigger.
well, sure, and there's a lot of industries that can do that. And unlike the
Absolutely.
catering business, we cannot work from home, but like there's a lot of things that can be. I mean, and
Yeah.
that's awesome. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It would be tough to probably handle like a 300-person wedding or something out of the
Yeah,
kitchen, wouldn't
from your kitchen wedding. It's not like I haven't done it before, but yeah, when I first started. But yeah, but now that we have a big, huge 1,400 square foot kitchen, why would you want to go in the little kitchen? You won't.
Which is amazing looking kitchen, by the way, folks. For people who've never been to Sherm's, I would tell you it's like walking into a production factory, man. Clean and freaking awesome. He showed me the pictures when he redid the kitchen. I'm like, man, that looks like an assembly line. It's a professional operation for sure.
Well, yeah, we brought on some other products. Some of you don't know, but we took a contract with 1-800 Flowers. So we started making fruit flowers and Sherry's berries, and we just had to find like another little spot in the kitchen for them. So we just switched it all around, and everybody's in 3 lanes, and you can see everything, and everybody can see each other. They can help each other. They can talk to each other. You can see what everybody's using. So not people aren't breaking out new cases of pasta or new cases of strawberries. Like, hey, that's right here. So yeah, it makes them work better. A little gel, a little
Yeah.
they gel better together. So yeah, it was great. And that was Angelo and Tom, and me, like looking like how can we make this process just a little bit better and a little bit easier
Yep.
for everybody. So yeah, and that's what it
Well,
was.
and we talk about business all the time, and our businesses could be any different, industry lot wise, but a lot of the still things still boil down, and you use the key lot process, and that's
Right.
the key to any business. If you don't have some kind of process, that's where you can go sideways really quickly. So, that's something that I think, building a process with your business, it doesn't matter what you do, if you don't have the processes set up and how a playbook, whatever you want to call it, it can get sideways again like in a hurry. So yeah,
Yeah.
I know, like, again, I don't know catering whatsoever. I can cook on the grill somewhat, but I mean, just every event that I've ever been to that you guys have done, you can see that process starts in that office and it just rolls to the event. So
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Well, you have to, no matter what industry and whether you're catering and doing graphic design and websites, you have to have a system that
Yeah.
starts with the customer and then it
Yep.
ends with the customer.
Yep.
Some processes are very long and wide and have a lot of steps to it, and some have smaller. Maybe you only have 2 or 3 steps, but
Yeah.
nonetheless, you have to walk through that process just as if you're a customer. Because if you don't,
Absolutely.
that you're going to be spending a lot of time and money,
Yeah, and
trying to figure out the mistakes.
it's yeah, you also you set the expectations from the get go, and it's like you and I have joked about before. There's a difference from people who run their business and the business runs them. And when you put processes in place, that's going to help you.
Yeah,
That's one of the things that when I speak at Dell Tech every year, and it's one of the things I tell the entrepreneur class is, it's great to go start a business. That's awesome. And you'll soonly quick out or find out that it can be it's stressful, man. You're the last person to get paid, right?
sure.
And and no matter what, one thing I learned when I first started hiring people was, you can get great people and they're going to work their butts off, but and this is the way it's always going to be. No one's ever going to care about your business as much as you do, right? And I think that was a hard thing for me to understand at first was, well, how come you're not willing to work 15 hours a day? It's like I'm doing it. Like, well, I still do it to this day, and I'm like, why won't you do it? And it's just that's a hard thing for a lot of entrepreneurs who start out is when you get to that point, and we call it the growing pains, right? Like
Sure.
it's great, you're making money, you're having business, and then you hit the next part of it is, okay, how do I take it to the next level? Then you start hiring people, you start buying this, doing that, and that was one of the hardest things I had to learn was nobody really gives a crap really about your business as much as you do. And it cost me a couple of people along the way, and I learned that, look, man, people are going to work. They're going to work hard. They're going to get paid, and that's it. They're not going to worry about weak fish at midnight like I do sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so I tell all my managers, it's like we're playing chess, and if you know anything about chess, each piece moves differently,
Yep.
and you can't use each piece the same way. So you
Yeah.
have to understand what each piece is going to do to get you where you need to be. And we have to fully execute every piece every time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and you can take that a step farther. Every action is a reaction, right? So, and the other thing that I found too, and I learned a lot from an old mentor, and even we've known each other for several years now, and you know there becomes a difference when you get to a level where you start hiring people working for you is you got to throw the friendship out during the day, right? And I still see a lot of business owners and people in business that that don't know how to do that. And even when I had people work in the office here, I never went out with them afterwards. Not that I didn't like them, but the separation I think sometimes has to be there. And I don't ever want. Yeah, they always make fun of me because once a month the team would get together for like a virtual happy hour, and I don't attend it. And they're like, "Why?" I'm like, it just. I don't know. I was always told when I became a boss in the old corporate world that I was in before I started my company is once you become boss, you don't have friends at work anymore.
Well, I disagree. It's not about not being friends, but there's a very fine line between,
Yeah.
you know, being the boss or the owner or the manager, the president, CEO, and then being one of the gang. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, so twice a year, Sherm's does two events. One event, we go to the Blue Rocks, and everybody invites their significant other, children, and we go out and we have a great family day with Sherm's Catering, and we're all
Oh, great.
there interacting as family. And then right after the Christmas in January, we have our holiday party. And that's more just us. We hang out, everybody's hanging out together. We have dinner. We did it at the University of West this year. So we had pool tables and all kinds of stuff to have fun with. And there's nothing wrong with doing company oriented events, but once you start going out, hanging out with alcohol and then you loosen up, they loosen up. Next thing you know, we're talking about things we should,
Yep.
and that's
Or
where,
someone.
yeah, or someone, someone that isn't in attendance,
Right.
because it's human nature. Just
It
because
is.
we're the CEO, the boss, the main person, doesn't
Yeah.
not make us a human. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and that's it's tough because it's not that you don't want to be friends or you're not trying to be friends, but we have a mission and a goal and job to get done, and unfortunately sometimes somebody's got to be the bad guy, and there's no
Yeah.
there's nowhere to turn around. We are the end all be all, the last stop. So when something's
Yeah.
messed up, they want to speak to the owner.
Well, yeah, exactly, right. Usually when you get that email or that phone call, it's not usually they want to tell you a great job, right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Sometimes
when
it
they would
is,
talk to the owner, it's never like, "You guys
No.
killed it."
Right about that. Oh, by the way, I figure I only have about 8.5 years left to get to the Whist Club, by the way. That's just a little inside joke there between
Eight and a
Sherm and
half.
I. So, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I've
So,
only been there for 4 months, so you have to
oh, well, I got a
understand that.
lot longer then.
Yeah,
I
you got
got
a lot longer. You're not
nine
from.
plus years from
Yeah,
there then. Great,
yeah.
great, great.
That's funny. Well, it took you 9.5 years to get to DuPont, so don't
Yeah,
worry
that's
about
what
it.
I mean. That's that.
Yeah,
I think that's the threshold that I've pretty soon. I mean, we're going to be retired, probably living. You'll be living in Florida at some point, and I'll be living somewhere. And
in Tennessee.
yeah, that's dude. I'm telling you,
I
man.
know, I know. Good for you.
That is,
I
I
want to
love.
just, I want palm trees, sand. I don't like
See that,
sand, but I
but
like sand.
that's what makes it great with us, though. Like you guys love that, and I don't mind the beach, but give me a mountain lake house to look at the Smoky Mountains, man. Fired up, a nice cigar, sitting there with a nice glass of something, and
Well, that's
um,
because you don't like boats. See, that's the
I
problem. You
no,
know,
sure. It's not that I don't like boats. I hate boats, so there's a difference. So,
well, I've given you full 100 invitations to come on the boat. I don't understand.
I'd be yeah. I'm seem to be busy that every time it
I
seems
know
like.
it's
So
crazy. It's crazy. So
I'm booked up for the whole summer, by the way. So
yeah, I know. When it comes to the boat ride, you're booked up the whole summer. So we always ask the guests here. So you just started, in small. I mean, not just started, but you're in the under 10 year category.
no,
So
we just hit our 10 years,
oh,
man.
10 years, shit, my fault.
Yeah,
I apologize.
yeah, we just hit it last year.
Well, congratulations.
I
So
guess. No.
you're into the can't fail anymore
Oh yeah,
category.
right.
So well, that's so the here's the scale of failing is that 85% of the business that open up in the first year fail.
Yep.
Then 75 of the 15% that succeed that first year fail in the next 2 years.
Yep.
And then 80% of the 80% of the 75% of the 15. So you're looking at probably like 8%. 8% that make it to 10 years have a 95% finish ratio.
Yep.
So
It's just crazy, man. Like, I see, especially, and you see it in your business too, right?
mhm.
How many caterers have you seen come and go in all the years you've been a caterer?
I don't know. I don't.
Right. You
I don't
can't
even.
count them, right?
Yeah,
Right.
I don't even pay attention. I'm
Same
too
thing.
worried about me.
Right.
Like I'm trying to make so that's regular. I didn't tell you the food industry. It's
Right.
like 95%
Oh,
fail in the first year, and then it's like 85% fail in 2 and 3. Like it's even worse in the food industry. So
well, right. You take a look at that building, right? And every town has this where how many restaurants have been in this building in 10 years, right?
well,
Like
look at Market Street. Just look
right.
at Market Street in the city of Wilmington.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like they've had tons. I mean, they're doing great now. They have their anchor places that've been around for a little while, but they had it bad for a while. Where we
Yeah.
open up and shut down in the first year. But
The
yeah,
the thing that my personal feeling on why I think a lot of businesses fail is some people have the fear to adapt and kind of change business because you look at 20 years ago it was all about okay, if you were in graphic design business you designed a newspaper ad, a direct mailer, and that was about it, right? Now I can tell you probably maybe 10% of our business is direct mail design and newspaper stuff. Everything else is digital, video, stuff like that. And there's still a lot of people in our industry that won't adapt to that. They still think you got to get out your drawing pad. And if you're not drawing a graphic design, you're not a graphic designer. Well, first of all, drawing and ink, that to me, that's an artist. There's a big difference.
sure.
And but there's a lot of guys in our industry and gals that won't adopt to that. They won't do digital stuff for you. And they're finding a hard time. And again, everyone's like, "Oh, printing's dead," right? I'm like, first of all, printing's never going to be dead. There's
No.
always going to be a need for some kind of print. And I think everything comes and goes. Like, who'd have ever thought vinyl records would be back in style? My 16-year-old has a record player and probably 60 or 70 vinyl records. I didn't even listen to vinyl records when I was growing up, you
I mean, I
know? And
probably barely did. Like it was
well,
really at the end, and then cassettes, and then
yeah,
DVDs. But yeah,
yeah.
or
So
CDs. Sorry.
I think everything has a cycle of what it comes back to. And but I think the biggest thing is you got to maybe change it up a little bit, and you can't be afraid to adapt. Like when we talk to people about social media, they're like, we're scared of the internet. Well, what are you scared about? Well, if we post something, someone's going to say something. I'm like, well, first of all, I'm going to tell you right now, whether you're on social media active or not, somebody's talking about your
Somebody's
business
still
anyway.
talking about you. You just
Yeah.
don't know about it.
I mean, I won't say the page name, but
Yeah, well, we all know which page that is.
I won't say it, but God
Yeah.
bless you is all I'll
Yeah,
say.
God
But
bless you is right. I just want to know who has the best pizza.
well, you and the 8 million comments that will come on there afterwards. I still think
It's good for 450 at least.
I still say Little Caesars, but what do I know?
Oh, stop. See, pizza, pizza. So, yeah. No, so you, you know what COVID had taught me, and I'm pretty good at with pivoting and changing and growing. I had never been stuck in the sand when it comes to like what we did and how we did it. But I think COVID really taught you if you're not really thinking 6 months to 9 months out like ahead, you're dead.
Yep. Yep.
You know what I mean? Like
Agreed.
a lot of us, and me included, I'm no better than anybody else was when that hit. We were white knuckling it. Like month to month, every few months, and that that was a pivotal year for us because we had went all in on gaining wedding clients, gaining corporate clients. Like that year was our best year ever in the company. And
Yep.
we had already had what 45 weddings in the pipeline,
Wow.
for the next 18 months. And then the corporate clients we had like a ton. And, you know, if we didn't have that, we'd have been done. We'd have been toast, you
Right.
know,
But
and
what you did, and from the outside looking in, you adopted so well with the meals and stuff like that,
sure,
Sherm. Like there were a lot of people in your industry that we've worked with, like restaurants and stuff like that, even just restaurants, and they just folded up. They had no clue what the next move was going to be.
right, right. Then they just quit. Now, look, let me
Right.
tell you, we were no different. So I sat down. It was me, Becky, Chrissy, and Angelo. We had a private meeting with the four of us, and I said, my question was to them. We have two options. I said one option is going to be painful, and the other option is going to be easy. And they like
Right.
looked at me, and I said, we can close shop right now,
Yeah.
or we can figure it out. I said, and I'm just one piece of this. I'm willing to do whatever we need to do to get through this. But I want to know if you're going to be with me and us as a team, because this is going to be painful.
Yeah.
Because we're really going to have to figure this out, and it's not going to be easy. But I
Yep.
promise you, I will stay as long as I have to, filing applications for the PPP, the EDIL, the Delaware grant, the restaurant grant, all that. I will stay, I will scream and holler, I will make sure that we're getting help. But on the other ends, I need you guys to think out of the box. We have to figure out how we can get these customers to buy this food,
Yeah.
so that we can stay relevant until I get this money. You know what I mean? Like, you have to
Yeah.
understand. Like, so, and I told him, I said, so we will be the four that stay,
Yeah.
and we'll lay everybody else off. I'll come up with how much we're going to need, and then we're going to focus on this is the dollar amount, and we need to get there in 3 weeks, and that'll get us. So I thought COVID would be over in July. I figured there's no
Yeah.
way that
Yeah.
it's
We
going to
talked about it.
last past June and July. So you know, I just that I figured out what here's our rent, here's payroll for the four of us, like here's what it's going to be, and then this is the sales we have to do, and this will get us to July, and that obviously we know what that was.
Yeah.
That was, but the thing was we started out with a plan, and then
Yeah.
every single time they opened us up and then shut us down, we we kept taking that large plan and making it smaller and say, okay, well, they're going to open us back up by then, so we just have to get to this point. And we kept doing that, and it was crazy. We had corporate clients calling us, going, "We want to buy lunch every day for a week for Christiana Hospital for this department." You know what
Yep.
I mean? And where would you have thought that would come from? You know what I mean? The same thing with
Yeah.
handing out the free lunches.
Yep.
That
And that's
turned
awesome, by
into
the
a
way.
a ton of business. It was a mistake. So my bread guy calls me and says, "Yo, I got an extra 100 loaves of bread. What, you want them?" And I'm like, sure. I don't know what I'm going to
Right.
do with them, but okay. And I was
Sure.
like, there's nothing open. Like, there's no community centers. How are these people getting lunch?
Right.
So I said, all right, well, let's just start handing out free lunches. We did ham and cheese and chicken salad. And I know you're hot for that chicken salad.
Dude, that chicken salad. I should have gotten that line.
Yeah. Like, sure, I'm
But
gonna tell you that line was all the way down to Marion. And it was in the parking lot, down it was crazy. But, you know, who'd have thought that? You know what I mean? Like, it was
yeah.
just crazy, and then we started getting the government help, and unlike some people, I did all the right stuff. I paid my rent ahead
Yep.
for like 14 months. I
Right.
figured that's the main bill. Let's just get it out of the way. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like, the employees can come and go, but I gotta keep the rent. I
Yep.
get, and then, I just made sure that we were ready to rock.
You know,
So
it's funny. We have a team meeting every Monday morning, and one of the girls said the other day, she's like, "Doesn't it feel like COVID was so long ago?" I'm like,
yeah,
"Not as a business owner. I can tell you that it doesn't because for us, we were in the same boat as you
sure,
were. We would consider whatever the term was. We wasn't important enough to have our doors open,
uh,
and you're going full tilt, and much like your business, you do a lot of corporate stuff. That's what we're dealing with every day. If they're not doing business, you ain't doing business.
right,
And I mean, it was tough. I learned a lot. I'll tell you, it taught me a lot. And I'm like
yeah,
you. We thought, oh, okay. Remember how it started out?
yeah.
2 weeks. It'd be over.
Yeah.
Two
Well,
weeks.
so I
And
knew that was BS. I
yeah,
mean, you had to look at what was going on in China and over in Europe. I was like, there's no way
yeah,
this is only going to last 2 weeks. But they
no,
said because of the weather and the heat and all that stuff, I figured Delaware by July it gets hot. It should be an issue. They'll kill the
right,
virus. We should be good. You know what I mean? Like, I
right.
figured July 15th, July 31st at the latest. But again, you have to start somewhere. This is
Yeah,
I looked at it. I told him, I said, I didn't do this. I didn't go to the casino and blow all our payroll money, on black.
right.
Now I have an issue and I gotta find payroll money. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
this, and it's not your fault either. Like, this is just something
right.
that happened. Now, all together as a team, we're gonna have to work through this. And it was
Yeah.
painful, man. It was
Oh,
it was
dude.
tiring. I mean, we had brides mothers, venues. Everybody's calling us like, "What are you going to do?" And I'm like, "I don't know. What are you doing? Like, let's just work at this as a team.
Yeah,
Like, we're all in this, so let's just figure it out." So it was. We just started making rules. I didn't. Let them tell me I'm wrong, but I'm making rules because nobody else was doing
yeah.
anything. So I'm like, all
Well,
right, here's how we're doing shit.
you're looking at. I mean, we've never, and I'll say the modern time of the workforce, right? We've never had something like this to come about, right? I mean,
No,
you're
well,
literally
so
talking,
we've never had something like this that shut the
right,
hospitality industry down.
right,
Now, we had 2000, 2008 with the housing market. We've
sure,
had financial crises. We've had, depression, recessions, but we've never shut the
no,
hospitality down. Because where would you go? You go to the
right.
bar, you go eat, that's how you would get through the craziness. We drink and we eat, as Americans. So
Well,
it
that and
was,
You're right. That's a funny point. One of our clients is a big beer distributor, and I said, I talked to him. I said, like, when there's low times in the economy, how do you guys adjust? He said, we still sell as much beer. It's just the cheaper one. That's all.
Right. Right.
So you
Still,
got
yeah.
some industries that will always be okay. People are always going to drink, right? Even if you're a social drinker or whatever, you're still going to go buy beer from time to time. It might not be the high end, but you're going to buy. So but like you're right. We've never experienced where they said to you, "Sure,
Mm-mm.
you can't be open. You're done. Close your
Yeah.
doors."
Yeah. The government told you to shut down. Like we
Yeah.
in the United States, we've never really had that. Now,
No.
has crisis shut you down? Sure, but the
Yes.
government never said you can't open. Kind of thing. So it's kind of crazy. So
It
look, let's
is.
get to we're at 30 minutes. I don't want to keep you too
Yeah.
much longer. I know you're
Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah.
busy. So let's go. So I was leading into it when we went and left hand turn at Albuquerque. But so you've been in business for 10 years. So tell some of the new business owners, some of the 1 to 3 to 5 year old business owners, what is one of the biggest lessons you've learned in the last 10 years?
Um, don't try to take on too much at one time.
So
Uh, you know,
expand on that.
so for example, whatever you're doing, like when I started this, I'm trying to do social media marketing, digital A-frame marketing, build a website, do this, and it took me 7 years to figure out you're an idiot. I'll use the theory of the McDonald's theory, right? Because I love that movie, The Founder.
Sure, Ray Kroc.
So when they had a barbecue stand real quick, they were selling ribs and everything. And they realized that 87% of the menus ordered off their item was three things: cola, French fries, hamburgers.
Right.
And the people told them, "You'll never make it as that." Well, we know the
Well,
story
we
that
know the
turned out.
story. How does that story ended?
And so I started looking at what do we love to do? We love to do graphic design, the social media postings easy, and website building. That's my three items that we offer on our menu. We
Sure.
also do SEO for sites that we build, and we're fairly good at that, and we love doing it. So it's kind of like that 3.5 item menu. But the biggest thing is it's very easy for a business owner if things are lean and you're struggling to get started. It's always easy to go find something else to do to add to your business, right?
Right.
The next shiny penny that you find on the sidewalk.
Sure.
Stay with your niche, man, and find, if this is what you're going to do, the old adage saying, if it's worth it, it ain't easy anyway, right? It's
That's
not
true.
easy.
It's
There's a
not
lot of
easy.
sleepless nights, and that's what it's all about, though, because you know what? We want to be the 3% in the world that the 97% work for, right?
Exactly. Well, no, I don't care who works for me. And I don't
No,
care if there's 99, 97%.
right, right.
I want to be the 3% that schedules my time.
That's it.
Like
Right.
that's what it's about.
You're right.
Most of the people that do this want to be millionaires. And you know
Yep.
what? That's bullshit. And you and I both know this.
Right.
It's not about the money.
No.
We can make more money tomorrow.
Oh,
It doesn't matter how
absolutely.
much I spent today. I'll make more money tomorrow. What
Yep.
you can't get back is time. That's it. Because
Time is everything.
you don't know when that clock stops for you. It
Yep.
could be today.
Yep.
We could get off this podcast and I fall out of the chair and I'm done at 3. So I only
Yeah.
have 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, or I could have another 55 years. But you
Right.
can't get it back. You can't go backwards. So
Yep.
really what Mike's trying to say is keep your bandwidth manageable. It's not
Yeah.
about taking that big job on, because I say do it. Do it and figure it out. You know what I
Yep.
mean? But you don't want to just take every little thing that has to do with your business. And that was tough for me because,
Yep.
you get into that scarcity mindset that I got to make payroll on Friday, and you start taking every Tom, Dick, and Harry. And next thing you know, you got 3 bad Facebook reviews because you
Yep.
took it because it really wasn't what you do, but you needed the money.
Well,
So,
there's an old adage. Sometimes a lost job is a more profitable job.
it, yes, yes, absolutely. But yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I always talk about what my biggest lesson was, and it was me figuring out how to be the best version of me because
Yeah.
I was just I was a ticking time bomb. I
Yep.
was, raised by third generation military guy that, you want
Yep.
to talk about 1% in the way they think,
Oh yeah,
like,
mine
and
too.
then you flip that around and you try to treat everybody else like that. I had 150 employees the first year because you're just firing and they're quitting and but yeah, it was tough, man. So
I
look,
agree.
let's wrap this up. We're at 35 minutes. Not bad.
Not
I
bad.
appreciate your time.
Yeah, man.
All the best of luck. So you find him at www.weakfish.com. When we post this out, there'll be a link underneath. If you need anything, just don't hesitate to reach out. We were going to talk about a chapter in a book, but we did because we talked about systems. So, you always got this online or inbox me. If you guys
Yep.
are here reading or watching our podcast, listening to us, inbox me. I'll throw you a free copy. I got a whole box sitting over there that I ordered for the kids at Stanton Junior Elementary. So, all right, man. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time.
You're
We're
welcome, man.
gonna we're gonna get out of here.